Hey, I wanted to jump on here and talk a little bit about string of pearls. These are one that a lot of people tend to be afraid of, but they are so beautiful I couldn't help but buy them. So I have owned this for about a year and a half, going on maybe 2 years here. I bought it when I first moved to Utah, and since then it has moved back to Idaho with me and it's doing really great. I have it planted in a great big terracotta, and the soil I have in here is just the Black Gold Cactus mix. I probably could have added a little bit more drainage in here, but it has held up really well, and these guys have been happy as can be. I also have a snake plant sitting in here with them. Also, peep some baby pictures from before my kid was born. So these two aren't necessarily the most likely partners, but they have really similar watering requirements, so they've done really well together. I'll turn it this way so you can see it a little bit better. The nice thing is I've got these sitting in my nursery right now, next to a south-facing window, so they get some pretty good sunlight during the day. The more sunlight, the better with these guys. One of the things I found, and you'll see this a little bit on this strand right here, is that your pearls are going to be a little bit more spaced out and a little bit smaller if it's not getting enough sunlight. So you really want to make sure you are getting these suckers taken care of. See how some of these are a little bit small? So in terms of care, I water these once a week, and I water it super deeply, so I'll show you that here in just a minute. I know a lot of people say you don't want to get water on your pearls. I've never had a problem with that. I've also heard that a lot of people will wait until their pearls get a little bit squishy or shriveled. I've also never done that. I've found that about once a week has been really a pretty safe bet, and they've really thrived with it, so I just don't let them get too dried out, but I also make sure that the soil is completely bone dry between waterings, which in Idaho is about once a week, every 10 days, something like that for me. So for watering, I've just got my watering can here. I've got a tiny bit of liquid dirt fertilizer in here, but that's totally not necessary. And I just go ahead and I really soak this. So I subscribe to the idea that you want to water this as if it were still living in the desert. So super bone dry in between waterings, but when it does rain, it rains really deeply. So I water this guy until I get some water running out of the bottom. You're going to see that right here. That's also going to help with mineral buildup. You don't want to let, if you don't let water drain out the bottom of your plants, a lot of them will get kind of a mineral buildup in their soil, and that's not good for them. It'll get a bunch of salt and stuff. So that's about how I water these. Another interesting thing to note is these used to be really, really long and trailing, and when we moved, I just took them all and I plopped them on top of the soil so that they would stay safe in the car, and a lot of them have put down new roots in here, just sitting on the soil. You could do this by putting them in and kind of pinning it down, or you can just set it on top too. So they've sat down and set out some new shoots, so it's a lot more full on the top. So if your string of pearls is looking a little bit bald, just plop it all on top of the dirt and let it put down some new roots, and it is back to trailing again in just the last couple of months. This is by far one of my favorite plants. I think they are stunning, and they have always kind of captured me. So they are really simple to care for. My tips are terracotta for sure. It makes it dry out really well. I like the Black Gold Cactus potting mix for this, or you could mix your own and just make sure it's really, really well draining. And then water it really deeply every 7 to 10, maybe even 14 days or so if you were in a more humid location. And then lots and lots of bright light. And that's it. That's all you need to do to take care of these guys.